chapter 1. Who are you? You know, and not, we were talking about the true sense of who we are. Who are you? And I've been using this as who we are, right? So this is the hallelujahs. This is the me connected. This is my Christ consciousness. This is the Shema Israel Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. This is it, the oneness. And in this oneness, what's shining through? Light. Light is shining through. We are the peace of God shining in the world. We are the light shining and reaching out and just having a grand old time. And in that, we have this beautiful heart chakra as one of our energy centers. And this heart chakra can feel and experience and have all these wonderful things happen for us, right? But what happens is that then we kind of take things in, and then we kind of get stuck on them. We concretize things, and we like the things we like, we don't like the things we don't like, and then we kind of get all stuck with it. Everybody with me so far? So today's talking a little bit more, wants to give us a little bit more motivation about freeing ourselves and what it means to free ourselves. Because freeing ourselves means coming back to the realization of the truth of who we are and being able to live that. That's why we've heard, be in the world but not of the world. Right? Being of the world means being stuck with the stuff and getting caught in it. So, sounds like a lot. Okay, how do I do that? An experience comes into my life. I have the ball. I let it go. Oops. Justifiably pulled it in. I pulled it in, right? He says, what are the steps? What are the things that we do? So now I have my trusty Westie's pack here at Westie's Storage Center, our nice place that helps us with our starter packs. Give me nice Post-its. That's another way I pull things in. I see something right away. I'm attached to it. So I got my thing with my things on it, right? So now the thing becomes a thing because it's attached to something else. And now I'm going to distort it. It's not a ball. It was, I missed. I threw it wrong. I'm a horrible athlete. They always told me I couldn't really play sports. Right? Got another. I'm distorting the ball, right? I'm distorting my experience. And what happened with that one, right? It became negative. Instead of just being a silly, fun thing, it became, you're not athletic, you don't know how to catch, you don't know how to do things. It just keeps happening, right? These thoughts keep coming up. They keep putting us and attracting us to it. And he says at this point, we can still let it go, or we can keep it. But we notice, we get opportunities when we can let go of things. But what will happen? Somebody will get away with telling me I'm not a good athlete. So I gotta prove to them I'm better than that. And I don't need their stinking opinion. Oh gosh, my ball is getting crazy here. So what happens with all of these things is we start to, what comes up is these protectors that are here. I will survive without your opinion. But what I'm doing is getting thicker. Right? My survival mechanism, that's survival, right? Survival of the fittest, me against you. What you say in my head or what I say in my head, I forget I'm still just in my head. You're not here anymore, who I'm fighting with. I'm trying to survive against. Right? So he's telling us, let go or fall, but think about what we're falling into. into what the consequences of these falls are, because now with all of this, I delve into the body, and it's not about my body anymore, but sometimes it is, because I take these things in and I create physical illnesses for myself, or then it becomes about your body and your body doing what it's doing, because I don't want to see all the things that are going on inside of me and inside of my body, what I chose to hold on to, all because I didn't let go of this experience. Right? And what happens then is we descend into darkness. We descend into darkness, so this little experience now becomes exactly where these posters wanted to go, because this is my body, this is my form, and I'm going to put it all over the place here now, right? I'm going to take something that could have been just a nice experience, and it became, labels and all kinds of things, and it's stuck all over, and I think I came into this room with this beautiful thing, but I forgot I had all of these attachments attached to it, and then something else comes by, and it looks like the ball. It's not the ball, but it looks like it, so it attaches even more to this one and makes that one even thicker, but still there. You with me? Darkness deepens. We get stuck deeper and deeper in it. And what happens is that we get a sense of losing control. It's not my fault I keep having this thought. It's not my fault it keeps coming up. I have a loss of control. I keep thinking about it over and over and over again, because I might as well just put this here. That's what it is. That's what we've done. That's what he's trying to remind us too. And what we've lost is what is most important that we've lost. It's not about any of this. It's about this. I've lost my relationship to God. My God, self, my God, whatever you want to call it. We've lost that. And that is needed here and now in the world. It is needed in our experience. Life is amazing. It's full of experiences. Things come in for us. And we are here and we have these experiences. So they come, then we let them go. And then they come back. I still can't catch that ball. But that doesn't matter. I pick it up and I just take it and I look at it and I let it go. Right? And then another person has it. And another experience comes in. Then that one hit me in the nose. And that didn't feel good before. But it's just an experience. It's just an experience. In the story of the garden and Adam and Eve, they ate from the tree of good and evil, right? The tree of knowledge of good and evil, right and wrong. What was that? That was the judgment. I don't like that feeling of my nose getting hit by a ball. So don't you dare throw that ball at me again where it's going to hit me. Now, I'm descending. I'm falling. I fell from grace. Why? Because I'm stuck with what my particularities, rather than just being open to the fullness and experience of life. Living it, of being in that grace that we are asked to live in. Just let it go. At any point, we can drop it. Think about the situations that come up for you in your life and how we're holding on to each one, adding another layer in our busyness of our day. We could be adding layers onto a circumstance. Something can happen to us, let's say, Thursday, just picking a day, and we're on our way here today on Saturday, and we're busy in our car putting more Post-its all over ourselves. About Thursday. Thursday's gone, everybody. Completely gone. Just another thing in the universe. But we got our stuff. We got our knowledge. Right and wrong, what I like and what I don't like, what you do and what you don't do. Remember, by the time it's going out to what you do and you don't do, you've already attached so much stuff to yourself first. Before I can judge another, I have to have attached so many things to myself first. So he tells us a way, and he says that people who meditate, people who get into this state of connecting to this place of grace, get to be the observer more, get to remember who they truly are. Listen, all the spiritual books that are there are not talking to JoAnn, the personality, the self or the body. They're talking to that Christ self, that essence, that Buddha nature that is the truth of who I am. That's who it talks to. That's who it's asking to wake up. We all think we want to, have our personalities wake up. Our personalities are going to be a sideshow for the rest of our lives. It's going to be which part is doing what, is doing where, and everything else. And let them. It's the joy, it's the experience. It's having an experience. It's being in the journey. Have you heard the joy is in the journey? Let the journey begin. It's the step. I don't want that journey. But every time I say I don't want, what do? I contract. I hold it. I fight it. And in my striving to have control, in my striving to define and say what I want, I'm not allowing myself to be free. I'm not allowing myself to be open. I'm protecting all my little post-its, my whole little world. And that's not living. That's not living. And we talk about on the spiritual journey is waking up to something more, is to having something more than that in our lives. And of course, there's one thing about in what he does in the book with these chapters is I always find at the end he does this rallying speech that kind of pulls you all back in after he talks about all the stuff that we're doing. You feel, oh my goodness, he sees everything. He sees all the parts, but that's okay. We need to look, we need to see. This is not about judgment. None of this is about judgment. So you're doing it, so you have the parts. So watch yourself. Oh, that's so funny. I've been driving for how long and I've been going on and on about that one. Let it go. Just let it go right then and there. There's another part of ourselves that's going to say, oh, you're supposed to be more spiritual than that. Why'd you have that thought? Right? Now you back down. It's simple. It's simple. And that's one of the things when we say, ask for help to be a clear channel. Who we're asking help from ultimately is the oneness, which is our higher self, which is God, because one is all connected. But if I need to see it outside of myself to pull it in, then I do. So I say, let go, let God, let go, let God, let go, let God. I'm letting go and letting the bigger, right? The bigger energy that is there, because that's the energy in the long run that fuels it all. Right? When I go like this to hold on, who's giving me the power to do that? Right? My body right now is giving me, my body giving me the power to do the holding on. So letting it go. He said, decide that you don't want the weakest part of you running your life. Yes, but make a decision. Decide that you don't want that running your life. That you want to be free of this. You want to talk to people because you find them interesting, not because you're lonely. What a different experience, right? If I know who I truly am, loneliness is impossible. So the beauty and wonder and experience of people is just amazing. Just can be part of that and living in that. He says, you want to have relationships with people because you genuinely like them. You like them and you like people, right? Not because you need for them to like you. What kind of relationship is that? But most of us. I need to be wanted. You want to love because you truly love. Not because you need to avoid your inner problems. You just want someone to put sugar coating on it and make you feel better for a moment. But we never really feel it, because underneath we're full of that block. He says, how do you free yourself? In the deepest sense, you free yourself by finding yourself. That observer, that place where you're able, and all of us have felt it, when you're in that place of that beautiful sunset, or you're there in You're actually being with your most authentic self. When you're in that, that's why we say we worship, to bring ourselves to that most authentic self. You are not the pain you feel, nor are you the part that periodically stresses out. None of these touches have anything to do with you. You are the one who notices these things. Because your consciousness is separate and aware of these things, you can free yourself. Because there's all this space between the truth of who you are and all that other stuff, you can free yourself. You can never be all the crap that you think you are. It's not the truth. It's not the truth. Truth is higher. There's always been that core sense that's been higher that held it. He says it's just another, when things happen, right? It's just another thing in the universe, like cars, grass, and stars. It's none of your business. Don't take it personal. It's just the universe doing its thing. Just let things go. That's what the capital S self does. Awareness does not fight. Awareness releases. Awareness is simply aware while everything in the universe parades before it or bounces on you like a ball. Once you learn that it's okay to feel your inner disturbances and that they can no longer disturb your seat of consciousness. So you can be disturbed, you can be upset, you can have all those emotions. They're not changing the core of who you are. You will be free. Once you can recognize that, you will be free. You will begin to be sustained by the inner energy flow that comes from, and I love this, behind you, okay, to be behind us. When you have tasted the ecstasy of the inner flow, you will walk in the world and the world will never touch you. That's how you become a free being. You then transcend. That's just in chapter 8. I mean, this is stuff. Chapter 9, he tells us about the thorn. He tells us about how with these things we take them, and all my post-its there become like little thorns in me, and I keep them inside of me, and I hold on to them, and I have them with me all the time, and I hold on to them. And it's up to me to let it go. That thorn, that me holding that resentment, that me holding the thing that I think that I am more than who I truly am, becomes more dear to me. He says, let go or go. The garden is waiting. The light is there. The truth is here for all of us. To enjoy all the experiences that life is bringing to us. Imagine. You're home. This old core thing comes up. Being negated, left out. You don't matter. And you see it. You recognize it. And you just say,